Okay, we'll finish up with a discussion of William Stafford's poem, Traveling Through the Dark. I was able to meet him back in the 1980s. I took a class to Spokane, Washington. It was a poetry class, writing poetry, and about 12 of us traveled to hear William Stafford read a poem, and ended up meeting him, introducing him to my class, and talking to him for a couple of minutes. He's a very gentle man, a very nice grandfather image at that point, shortly before his death. Here we see this passive nature in the poem. He was anti-war, he was a Quaker, and did not believe in violence, and was very philosophical in thinking about life and its meaning. So here we find ourselves in a situation that would be common in Michigan as well as Washington State, where you have a roadkill alongside the road, and he stops. Most of us wouldn't. I think most of us have miles to go before we sleep. To quote Frost, and we would be in a hurry and not be sensitive to what we are seeing there. We wouldn't want to see it. So he stops and he gets out and realizes there's a unborn fawn in the belly, and this causes him pause to think about life and death and what is the right thing to do. He says he hesitated. The car aimed its parking lights. So at that moment of hesitation, we're seeing the lights in the dark, the noise of the engine, while he thinks about it. Maybe his mind has gone blank there, and he's in a state of shock because there's life in the deer. Perhaps he has wild thoughts of trying to save the fawn, operating on it, taking it back somewhere, taking it to a vet. I don't know what's going through his mind at that point, but something's causing him to consider the life and then the death of the mother there, and he realizes it's hopeless. There's no way to save the life of the fawn. So he pushes the deer over the edge, out of the way, so other cars won't hit it. And that, I thought, hard for us all, my only swerving, the pausing, is bigger than that. It's the pause we all have when we have to kill something. It's the pause we probably should have when we eat meat. Most of us don't kill our own meat anymore, so we don't have that. I feel it somewhat when I go fishing, especially if I catch a really big fish. I think about whether I really need to, do I need to eat this fish or can I release it back? And as I've grown older, I find myself releasing it more often than not. I don't fill my freezer with fish anymore like I did when I was young, because I'm pausing more and more and swerving, I guess I can say. That swerving also goes with the original swerving of the car that killed the deer. They're kind of an interesting parallel, that he's not a part of the original swerving, and his only swerving is considering what to do about the fawn. But again, there's nothing to do here, and I think it's probably him coming to terms with his Quaker heritage, that realizing that at times you can't save life, and in fact you have to participate in killing. That's what I see behind that poem, without overreading it. It's a very quiet poem, beautifully written, and very strongly narrative. He's telling us a little story here. Okay, that's all I have to say on this one. I look forward to reading your forums this week. Thank you.